In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Oh, we got the bass beating tonight. Good Lord. Tony Dunn, C3 Panthers Podcast. This is the post-game show. The Carolina Panthers fall to the Atlanta Falcons 25-17. The Panthers are favored at home, starting out 2.5 points. The line moves a little and a little, and I felt like the Panthers should have won a little and a lot, but they didn't. 25-17, the Carolina Panthers fall. My name's Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast post-game show. The number is 252-228-5098. I hang out with the best of Panther Nation, my favorite peoples, and my best friends, and one of those is Cody Lashney. How you doing, my man? Well, I mean,
Tony Dunn.
That's kind of a loaded question, isn't it?
Well, it is loaded, but man, dude, it's hard to be more embarrassing than the Atlanta Falcons, and yet the Panthers are somehow able to pull it off. Man, I'm about to be honest tonight. I don't care who wants to hear it. I don't care who gets their feelings hurt. I'm about to let it rip. I hope everybody's ready to do the same. As always, we're joined by the most lit Panther fans in all of YouTube. Nirvash, Nick Montiero, Tin Tizzy, King Darius, DJ Perez, Brad Dugan, Mike Villa, The Lone Gamer, Jason Lewis, Tony Dunn. The chat room is lit. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
The greatest streamer of all time, CK in the house. How are you, my man?
Man, I'm doing all right, dude. I think it's about to be a line drawn in the sand, and I think I'm gonna be on the opposite end of at least half the guys on the podcast tonight. So I'm interested to see how this one goes tonight.
Greg, man of many podcasts, hello, welcome back to the show, and congratulations on your, I would say, Indian gambling anniversary, but I don't know, will I get in trouble for saying those words on the internet? I have no idea.
Possibly, I don't know. I doubt it, though. Yeah, it was a good time. Down a little bit of money after that, but, you know, that's part of it.
Who isn't, huh, man? Who
right.
isn't?
Hey, seriously, if y'all have never been there, it's like a big mall with a adult casino, adult arcade in it. It's insane. Harris and Cherokee. It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, let's talk some football. Told you so. Yeah, you know, Teddy Bridgewater's just proving my point tonight. And once again, every single time I wanted to tweet he was doing well, he did something bad. Every single time I wanted to tweet he was doing something bad, he did something well. He is consistently average. Great first half, dumpster fire second half. Like 4 completions for 75 yards and a pick. Dumpster fire second half. Somebody please try to argue with me that he played well this game. I can't wait to hear it. Let's go.
Welcome all the fans of the podcast. And when I say fans, you're not a fan of our podcast. You're just a part of a Panther fan community. And welcome Kevin Boschman, as well as Lance Kubiak says, longtime listener, first time in here. Another Facebook streamer, friends with Code Dizzle. Welcome to our community, and that's what it is we're just hanging out here after the game. The Panthers have fallen 25-17 against a dumpster fire of a team in the Atlanta Falcons, but always a threat when it comes to their offense, except they did not score touchdowns, and we still lost. The Panthers fall to 3-5, and I think what was many people believe was an opportunity for the Panthers to continue, I guess, to stay in the hunt. Now many of us, I guess, would say are questioning, you know, are we in that hunt? And if you're in the hunt and you want to be a part of like any of that, and you want to gamble on tonight, like for instance, you could have bet on the Falcons at 1.5 points. You could go to mybookie.ag. You can use the promo code OVERTIME and help not only this podcast and its network, but you can win some cheddar in the process. UFC's in the mix, as well as boxing NFL. You can't bet MLB anymore. But I'm sure you could bet on some soccer or some prop bets. And the prop bet is how many times will Cody Lashney say the word or the name Teddy Bridgewater in this podcast? I got to say the number is 78 times. Go to mybookie.ag, promo code overtime.
Good number.
78. All right.
I'll take the over on that.
The Panthers. All right, I'm just going to turn the show over to you, Cody. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Listen, there was a lot to not like in this game. Once again, we see the ineptitude of a lot of our defensive backfield, a lot of our linebackers. But I'm going to be blunt to the point. Teddy Bridgewater ain't it. And at the end of the game, you literally heard Troy Aikman start to call out our offense. That Atlanta's clamping down on the underneath throws. They're forcing 3 and outs, and we're one of the worst teams in the NFL on third down. Again, that is not because our offense doesn't have a good play caller. We have a young, dynamic play caller who had one of the most incredible seasons in college football last year. Teddy Bridgewater is not a franchise quarterback. And it's getting ridiculous now. People have conflated pulling for Teddy Bridgewater and being happy that he's come back from an injury and, is a starting NFL quarterback. Like Steve Smith earlier was on NFL Network along with Joe Thomas trying to tell everyone how Teddy Bridgewater is our future. He's the guy we're going to be able to build around him. It's not true. We're limited by what we can do on offense. And it's because there is no aggression to this offense on third down. When Teddy Bridgewater makes that throw.
Or any down.
DJ
Can
Moore,
we say just any down?
Any down at all. And then people want to bring up the one-off moments at the end of football games where he has to heave a throw on third down and wait for DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson to come down with the football. I mean, we are not able to effectively attack all areas of the football field. And because of that, all the defenses are able to accommodate for that and clamp down on us. Why is it that every other football team Atlanta played let the teams come all the way back in the fourth quarter? Every team does that to Atlanta. But the Panthers couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. Come on, dude. Why do you think that is? Yeah, the offensive line didn't play good. A lot of the offensive line we're getting abused by pressure. But
great quarterback.
Teddy Bridgewater has not won us a game yet, and he has now had multiple opportunities to do so. I am not a hater. I am a realist. He is holding our offense back.
I'll give him one game.
Oh, go ahead, Greg.
Good, CK.
I will say that the checkdowns are a problem, but putting that entirely on Bridgewater and not giving any blame to Joe Brady is completely unfair. If you watch any of these games, let's also in the same breath talk about how Teddy Bridgewater threw a dime to Curtis Samuel into the end zone, right? Let's talk about the fact that he did get the ball out, and then he had a few drops from his receivers, and he still only had 8 incompletions this game. If you're worried about the checkdowns, talk to the offensive coordinator about that. Then if he didn't want the checkdown, he wouldn't give the option for the checkdown. That's the problem. And if you talk about, yes, our offensive line didn't play good. Our offensive line played like a fucking trash can today. Garbage. I don't think there was a single play where the offensive line did not let at least 2 or 3 defenders through.
Even when they do play well, he's still throwing checkdowns, even when he has more time.
Look,
let's be fair then. The best duo in yardage coming into the day's game, as far as in the entire league, is Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore.
Yardage wise, but that doesn't mean anything if you're not getting touchdowns and wins. Who cares? It's empty calories. Matt Ryan leads the league in yards, but they're 2 and 5 now.
Okay, so let's talk about the fact that there were 4 sacks today by the offensive line.
No, look, CK, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. I think that you're absolutely right. It's not all on Teddy Bridgewater. You're absolutely right.
You want to know why I'm agreeing with this, though? Think about it. Look, take all this out of the equation. You know how much time the offense, the Falcons had on offense? Our offense had no opportunity on the field. Our defense was letting every third down go. They were letting every time, like, yes, they were in a bend don't break mentality. That's why
but they did, in theory, hold them. Not in theory, in reality, they held them to like 4 field goals in the first 1,000 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to be honest, I will say this. Is that the defense, you can say they had a bend don't break mentality, but they didn't break for a long time. I mean, there's a lot of field goals put up in that game.
No. There were but the problem was they weren't breaking when they got down to the red zone. The problem was they were letting
Which is a good step for this team, and kudos to Phil Snow's defense.
They were letting the offense eat 8 minutes every time they had a drive. Like, and that's the problem. If you look at this game and you want to put it all on Teddy Bridgewater, I have a problem with that, right? And I understand. Like I said, I've been critical of Teddy Bridgewater up to this point. I did not watch this game, and I watched it closely tonight. I did not watch this game and say, Teddy Bridgewater is the reason we lost. Quite honestly, it was our offensive line, and for the first time this season, I am blaming Joe Brady for calling a very vanilla offensive game this game. Yeah. If you look at the game and you think that he called a good game plan, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Well, look, CK, like I said, I won't disagree with you that it's not all Bridgewater's fault. I'll give you that. It's not. Like I said, the offensive line played horrible, defensive line played horrible. But look, here's the thing. Teddy Bridgewater played phenomenal football as far as stats go in the first half by throwing, 11 for 13, 1 touchdown, and like 103 yards, which is not that impressive with yards. Second half, and we still didn't win the first half. Okay, him throwing almost perfect. Actually, he had a perfect quarterback rating.
We almost won the first half.
Okay, but we didn't. Almost doesn't count. We did
our defense.
Okay, you're right, but we didn't win the first half. Okay, the second half, Bridgewater throws 4 completions, 75 yards, and a pick. Okay, we absolutely lost the second half because of Teddy. Because of Teddy, yeah, he only had like 15 on the day, and he had 11 in the first half.
He had 18 though.
Okay, so 7 completions in the second half. That's not that much better. 75 yards, 1 interception. Look, here's my thing. I'm not saying Bridgewater is the absolute end-all, be-all reason we lost this game. What I'm saying is he's not a franchise quarterback, and he proved it tonight, showing this. You had the ball with 3 minutes left, 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning, 70 yards to go. Okay,
yeah, so, and how about
the pass to DJ Moore was a prayer DJ Moore jumped for and caught. That wasn't a great pass by Teddy Bridgewater.
And once again, when he has the ball in his hands, we have to go win the football game. He has an opportunity to shut up the haters. He literally throws the football to the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does nothing. He does nothing to help the argument.
Watch the tape. Every single time he throws the ball, he has somebody in his face hitting him.
Even when he does have time to throw the football, he doesn't throw anything past 10 yards. The man is limited at the position, and our offensive coordinator knows it.
What about that 35-yard bomb to DJ Moore there at the end?
Hold on.
No. What about the other 30-yard bomb to Curtis Samuel in the end zone?
The Curtis Samuel was nice. The DJ Moore one was not a great pass.
Did you see him being hit while he threw the ball?
But it doesn't matter. I'm saying you're trying to make it seem like he had a great throw. He didn't. He threw a duck that DJ Moore was the only one looking for, stopped on his route, jumped 6 feet in the air and caught. That was a duck. That was a bad.
Never saw
but it wasn't because of Teddy
Did he complete it?
But it wasn't because of Teddy Bridgewater.
But you want to use the argument that he didn't have touchdowns, so that's the same kind of argument. You're using that.
Okay.
He's completing passes, but he's not getting touchdowns.
I'll give you that completion.
He's throwing balls, but he's not completed. But it's not his benefit.
He almost had 200 yards this game. I'll give you that completion, and that would have been a quarter of it right there.
I'm just saying, guys. Right now, to have Teddy Bridgewater be the first thing you guys latch onto is an issue, and that's a problem. Right now, the biggest issue is the fact that we had one punt in almost 2.5 games that we forced an offense to. That is the problem.
That's a big issue.
That should be the number one thing we look at in this game and say, oh, Julio Jones had another incredible game in the first half alone. That should be the issue. Like I said, I'm not going to take everything off of Teddy Bridgewater. That he shouldn't have thrown that interception there at the end, right? I agree with that. But the number one problem we have right now on our offense, in our team, is our defense, not Teddy Bridgewater.
We held them to 25 points. Our defense gave us our defense gave us an opportunity at the end of the football game to go down there and make the Falcons choke like literally every other team has been able to do, by the way, including Nick Foles. So I don't understand. Like, no one's saying that the defense is great right now, but that's the problem. But they weren't like the New York Jets defense. They're not like this terrible. We have some guys like Jeremy Chin that make plays, that are making a ton of plays. But, I mean, listen, the run defense is bad. We know why it's bad. But they gave us an opportunity at the end to win the football game. And Teddy Bridgewater gives the football to the other team. He does it consistently now. This offense is limited because he has no aggression to him at all.
I mean, again, I think right now, if you go back and watch the tape, I think you're going to realize how little time he had to throw the ball. Even when everybody said he's taking sacks he shouldn't have taken, he barely had the ability to do a step back at all. We all agree, and we can all go back and look. He's taken some sacks he shouldn't last week even, right? You know, when he took that sack that took us out of field goal range. That was not something he should have taken. But we've also agreed that Teddy Bridgewater is incredible at navigating the pocket. He had no pocket today whatsoever. And if anybody watches this game and thinks anything otherwise, like I was watching the game, and it was consistently 3 people in the backfield within 3 seconds of the ball being checked. That's why the check down was so important there towards the end of the game.
And great franchise quarterbacks overcome that. That's all I'm saying. They do. Look at all the great franchise quarterbacks. They overcome that. Look at the Russell Wilsons, the Tom Brady's, the Drew Breeses, the Aaron Rodgers. They all overcome that kind of stuff. They do. I'm sorry. That's why Teddy Bridgewater's not a franchise quarterback.
I just want everyone to know that no matter what you think, if it was on Teddy or not on Teddy, the fact of the matter is, it is now paramount. Issue number 1, that the Carolina Panthers have to do everything in their power to find a franchise quarterback, and it needs to be in this year's draft. It has to happen because, by the way, let's also not let this go unnoticed. Did we notice who the backup quarterback tonight was? It sure as shit wasn't the guy that we drafted with the 100th overall pick.
And he looked.
So, I need to say this is that this. I'm a teacher, like in my profession, and one thing I learned is that you work with so many people, thousands and thousands of people all the time, and rarely do you get good kind of feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like affirmation. But I gotta say, Cody Lashley needs to get on the damn national broadcast, dude. Dropping Paramount. Look, the knowledge base. It's just so. It's not even knowledge. It's just the delivery, Cody.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I will say that. But I will tell you this is PJ Williams. Or whatever his name is, Walker.
Yeah.
He looked like a crackhead version of Robbie Anderson. He was so skinny. He was so tiny. He was so tiny. He was like a little skinniest little motherfucker ever.
He might look like a dwarf, but he has 10 times the arm talent that Bridgewater does.
Oh, yeah. He had a cannon. You can see that.
He has arm strength.
Yeah,
throwing bullets, man. He was out there throwing bullets.
TK's right there. They were bullets, but they weren't accurate.
Yeah, there was.
For sure. Yeah.
They weren't. They weren't even bullets, bro. They were just like blanks off to the side.
Oh.
Anyway, I do want to comment.
Embarrassing, man. We lost. I just want, before we go on, I want to put it in context that we lost to literally a bottom 3 team in the NFL.
And I want
this
to
is
point
a
out,
team that everyone's trying to say, oh, we're a low-key contender, or, oh, hey, Teddy Bridgewater's the guy. I got 5 on it. Bro,
We shouldn't have lost. We should not lose to the here. In theory, is that first, anytime the Panthers could win this season, to me, is a good thing. Like, I mean, not a good thing, but it's more than I expected. To be honest, if you would have asked me if we were going, like 6 months ago, if the Panthers would be 2-0 against the sweep the Falcons in divisional play, I'd say no way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they loaded up a Gurley. They got this and that. They're trying to fight for their jobs. I wouldn't have said we swept them. So the fact that the Panthers won on the road against the Falcons, which are a dumpster fire, like a shit fire. They're like cow turds that they used to burn in the Kansas plains. It's awful there. Right. So, I mean, like, all right, the Panthers host them. I didn't think that it was guaranteed that we would sweep them. I didn't even know, all of this. And then I think that, and this is where I kind of disagree with CK a little bit, is I thought the Panthers, their defense, potentially going up against a prolific like Atlanta Falcons offense at times, like that would be the problem. Like all of a sudden it's like 38-12 or
averages. I bet we held them to less than that.
But we held them to field goals. Man, you hold an offense to field goals every time. I wasn't very impressed with the Carolina Panthers defense. I wasn't unimpressed with Teddy Bridgewater or anything like that. But I think you're right, Cody, is that I don't think it's like, I don't even think that it was Troy Aikman or anybody. Like, he didn't even know what he was talking about. And he was saying what we have been and you have been saying throughout. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't going, oh, Teddy Bridgewater can't push it down. He was just like, oh, Teddy Bridgewater's just throwing underneath. And this team over here was to a certain degree a little maddening that it was. I don't even know. I would just say I give you credit. I'm not trying to clap about you too much tonight. I want to overclap you, pat you on the back. But these are things we have said. So it's like, and things you have said. So when you don't make a mistake, right? So it's one thing. It's like Teddy didn't make a ton of mistakes, right? He didn't. But at the same time, he didn't really push the opportunity. Like, he just is so conservative and so safe all the time, period.
Even that flea flicker touchdown could have easily been an interception. I mean, listen, it was in for a touchdown and it was right on the money, but the DB did get his hand on the ball. So it is a little bit of dumb luck that goes into things like that too. And listen, man, I don't mind. I'm an early adopter. I was early on saying Ron Rivera needed to be fired. I didn't care if anybody wanted to shit talk about it, whatever. Eventually, I followed my gut. My intuition was right. I've been on this about Teddy Bridgewater, man. This is not a quarterback that is helping our football team when the game is on the line. Like, this is a football team, just like it has for the past few years. We're competitive with all these football teams. Like, it's down to the wire, and then we just don't have a quarterback that can put us over the edge.
Should we trade for Fitzpatrick?
No, we should, no. We should honestly want to lose every game going forward, and just hope that it's competitive. There's no point to winning.
Like tonight.
I mean, listen. People are gonna hate it.
Is tonight the best game of your life? since last
Well,
week.
Y'all want to hear
I mean,
some stats?
it's embarrassing because like we've already won too many games. We might already be out of range for the big three quarterbacks that are coming out in this
Nah,
draft.
I
and
listened to the
having to pick up some of the rest
BYU
of
guy today. I am sold. I heard
Zach
one
Wilson?
interview. I haven't seen him throw one football. I have no idea. I don't know what it looks like.
You
I
got
have
Jerry
no
Jones, huh?
idea. But I heard him in an interview today, and he was wonderful.
Well,
He was fantastic in the interview. I'm ready to pick him right now.
As someone who has seen him play and who has started to watch his film, I'm fucking intrigued myself, man. So I might be on that train with you. But
He's a super film nerd. I will tell you that.
and that's what you want. That's that Luke Kuechly DNA that Dave Gettleman talked about when we drafted McCaffrey. That ultimate next level commitment to the position that you play. And listen, again, man, I don't do this to be mean to Teddy Bridgewater or to shit on the man. I'm being honest. We all want him to be successful. I'm not lying to you because I have a negative opinion about who he is. Our offense is limited because of the kind of quarterback that we have, and it's a problem. And I mean, dude, Kansas City is going to murder us on. I mean, what is that? At 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock? I hope it's 1, because if it's 4,
no,
dude,
they're not gonna murder us. We hung in there.
They're
Where were the
going
weaknesses
to
in this? All right, we
murder
talked about
us.
Teddy. We talked about Teddy Bridgewater. This and that. Where were the real weaknesses? CK, you said it was on defense. Where was the problem that you saw on defense? I did not feel like it was as blatantly apparent with. And look, I gotta be fair. My kids were at the mother-in-law's house for a while. My wife and I were out at a bar with a bunch of people watching the game. So it's hard in that environment to watch every play as closely as I do when I just sit here in my office and watch it zoned in. But what I watched, I did not just go, oh, our linebackers suck a dick like last week. Where was the problems on this defense, CK?
Our linebackers are slow, and we have an undrafted free agent that is starting CB today. I mean, like
the Franklin kid made a giant play in the end zone, which was almost luck. The one that I feel like it was in the end zone. Do you remember when Dante Jackson fell down or whatever? And then Franklin comes in there. It was just wonderful as this.
The ball out, yeah.
Yeah.
The issue is every time that Matt Ryan threw the ball to a receiver, there wasn't a defender within 10 yards of him.
That does not bode well for stopping people from moving.
A lot of time is over the middle, and our linebackers are playing very slow.
And can I provide an update?
They play very deep.
Matt Rule in the press conference says, I don't think anyone played well on offense to deserve to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And can I point out something about these defensive stats we're sitting talking about how we think the defense is the problem? It is a problem. We played the Saints last week. They scored 30 points per game on average. We held them to 25, or what was the final score of that game? We held them 27. The Falcons averaged 26. We held them to 25 this week. The Falcons allow 29. We scored 17. The Saints allow, oh gosh, all these stats all over the place, 24, and we scored 24. So it's our offense underperforming, and our defense is actually performing better than the average against the teams we're playing against. We've held the last 2 weeks, we've held both teams under their average in points.
I think so too.
So,
I think for a team, but I agree, for a team that is so ravaged by injuries and has so many undrafted players and backups, yeah, we look dysfunctional, but I'll be damned if they don't give us a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not gonna flip out on this defense. Yeah, Tony made a great point last Tuesday night when he's like, our offense is bend, don't break. That's our mantra, and that's what we do, and that's what our defense did. Other than that one rushing attack by Todd Gurley at the end of the game, for the most part, our red zone
and
defense,
the 20-yard Matt Ryan rush into the end zone.
That
this
was
match-
Let's
hard.
talk about embarrassing.
That was hard. That's like when you walk in on your wife getting banged by like a cross-dresser or something.
Well, I've never had that happen.
You know what I'm
But
saying? Like, is that
did you
it
get my
was so
point, though?
slow and awful. It was humiliating. It was emasculating. To have Meg Ryan run 20 yards in made me feel like a cuckold for a second.
The issue is the bend don't break mentality does not last all year. It goes like our defense is going to be fatigued by this. It is going to be fatigued. It's
Of
and
course
what you're
it
seeing,
is. That's why our offense hasn't. But at the same time, our offense, I don't know. Should it be better? Maybe it shouldn't be better. Maybe that's our problem, guys. Maybe we continue to say, "Oh, Teddy should be this, Teddy that." But at the end of the day, we've got some limited. We have no offensive line. You saw it
We're
tonight.
not a good football team for sure.
Consistently average.
I mean,
like for
Oh
instance,
no, I think we're
went back-
consistently competitive. Is what I would.
I went back and I looked at the film, and you know how long it took for the sacks to take place? I'm watching the highlights. I was counting 2 seconds.
That's quick.
That's how bad our offensive
That's quick.
line was tonight. Those 4 sacks.
I have
Everyone
been
wants to say
trying
he
to
should
tell
have
my
gotten rid of
wife
it.
that is not quick forever. I'm just joking.
I'm just saying, guys. I mean, right now, you give him time. He's shown he's got the number 2 completion rating in the NFL, right behind Drew Brees.
but it
Number
does.
5.
Once again,
hold on,
look.
guys. Hold on. Let me finish the statement. Give me a minute. He's got the number 5 in total passing yards in the league, right? Now you're gonna say touchdowns, right?
That's what
That's
matters.
what you're gonna say.
That's
No.
what matters. The point, the yards don't mean nothing if you're not
But
scoring
that's
points.
also not what I'm gonna say either. I'm gonna say it's all yards.
Let him
after
talk. Shush. CK.
I'm just what my point being is you could do that. He's made some really good deep throws, and you cannot look at like we've watched games and he's made incredible deep throws, right?
No, I would not say incredible. I think that is an exaggeration.
Do you not think
but-
that Samuel throw with the flea flicker was incredible? That was a amazing throw.
It was
No,
a-
I thought it
that
happened.
was not
It
an
worked, but I didn't think like I was like, oh my god, Teddy Bridgewater made that happen.
Come on, bro.
That's
You
not what I
cannot look
walked
at that and
away.
see that.
Okay, but CK,
It was
look.
almost picked off.
Let me ask this one, okay?
Picked off.
Would you rather have? I'm trying to
So
feel
is it one filed fingernail from being the shittiest pass in the world?
No, dude, barely got.
You know,
a thumb
if
on
he
it.
would have
I
thumbed
think it was a good pass.
if he
I'll
would have
give him
thumbed
that.
it,
It was a good pass.
yeah, I mean, it's not a bad pass, obviously, because it was completed. Like, so if I threw a touchdown in the NFL, like if I walked into a game and I took a snap and I threw a touchdown, no matter how wide open it was, you have to say it's a good pass. Because some asshole walked into the game and actually threw the ball and it was caught. It's not a bad pass, right? If it was not caught, it's a good pass.
But that's what
It's
I'm talking
not
about.
like that
right
was the
now-
most exceptional throw in the like. I'm sorry, like it was like thank God it worked. Yes, I mean I was
My
happy.
point
I'm not
is-
rooting against them, but I didn't go away from that any of this going. Oh my God, thank you, Teddy. Thank you for your big giant dick.
My point is you cannot just point out all the negatives and not give him credit for when he does something good. Like Greg was talking about. He said he would do something bad and I was getting ready to shit on him and he'd do something good. Right? That's
Consistently
like
average. Yeah.
That's what
that's
he does
every
all the
single-
time, though. It's every other play with Teddy
With a
Bridgewater.
bad
Yeah,
offensive
so that's
line.
fine. I
With
don't.
a bad
I'm like,
offensive
here
line.
is the thing: is that if we were truly trying to think about if the team won or lost because of an individual, no, we're not going to say that it was Teddy Bridgewater because he was fine for most of the time. You know, it's like kind of saying. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
also,
it. But I get y'all. I get you.
But also not saying that the offensive line played good. But there were plays to be had. I felt like there were plays to be had. I felt like our receivers.
The problem with Teddy is we don't really even know if there are plays to be had. That's what kind of irks me with Teddy Bridgewater. I don't even know. It's like, hey, we're watching the broadcast, right? So you don't know. You can't see what the routes that were called. You can't see any of this or that. All I know is this: is Teddy only throws a maximum of 7 yards every time.
Mhm.
And
Like maximum,
like
the maximum, and then every now and then he goes, "Oh, I got this giant dick. I'm gonna throw a 30-yarder."
And by the way, all of his receivers run like a 4-3. Like they're all down the field runners, and
It's
he's
weird.
not able
It's
to
weird.
connect
Like it feels like
any of
watching
them.
Drew Brees. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm watching Drew Brees. But can we? How about this? We've got a lot to talk about still. We're gonna talk about the defense. We're gonna talk about how the Panthers are sliding now.
Before we
I
hit
heard
the
someone.
Before we hit the first cat call, can I just double down on my opinion from last Tuesday? I still think we need to trade Curtis Samuel while we have the opportunity to get something for him. If that's
He had a
how
big game tonight, right?
right? So
Big
his
game.
stock is going up. That means teams would be willing to give a good pick for him, especially right now when there's a bunch of teams that need receivers.
I don't think this organization is going to trade him for just picks.
We gotta trade him to the Packers. I think that's the move. The Packers. Who else really is there?
You're trying to get Jimmy Graham?
No, picks only.
I don't want anyone. We only want draft capital. We only want picks.
This organization is not doing that. I'm telling you, they are not. Right. If you trade away Curtis Samuel for draft capital, that is you.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
No, it's not. It's saying that you're gonna. It's saying you're gonna prioritize paying DJ Moore over Curtis Samuel,
or that we can't pay a third receiver in the offseason.
Right, we're gonna have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, and Curtis Samuel, and we have to pay Taylor Moton. Like, listen, I love Curtis Samuel. I've been one of the biggest.
You've been the biggest.
Yeah, I really like Curtis Samuel. I think he's been kind of a victim to the quarterback play that he's had here in Carolina. I mean, he really could have been, and I still maintain this, our own version of Tyreek Hill. If we had a guy that could push the ball down the field, but we haven't had that, so he can't be that. But now that we're getting him involved as a running back, getting him the ball in space, listen, I mean, he is a weapon to us, but we have a lot of people we have to play. We're paying Robbie Anderson. We're going to pay DJ Moore. Trade him, man. We need to be focusing on rebuilding this football team. We're not very far away. Look at how Arizona did it. Arizona turned around in, 2 years? And they're a legitimate football team right now. It doesn't have to take forever. But if you don't have the quarterback,
beat them this year.
You don't have it. And we don't have the quarterback.
We did beat them this year.
I agree. Like I said, I'm not making the argument that Teddy is the long-term answer here, but I don't think, I really honestly don't think people are being fair to what he did tonight.
All right. 252-228-5098. You can tell us what you think. That's 252-228-5098.
What's going on, C3 fam? Chef Jeff here.
Chef Jeff.
I got done watching that last interception. I can't believe how terrible the offensive line looked tonight. I mean, they have taken 5 steps back. I mean, what the hell happened? Atlanta isn't that good. It's just our guards, man, and Paradis are just trash. Like that last drive, right before the interception.
Grady Jarrett,
I mean, they let a safety just run right through him like it wasn't shit. Like I don't know.
Sounds like coach.
I know I'm still
like
on
it was through the middle
we
too.
We need to lose games, and we do. But they gave us a little bit of hope, looking better, the last few weeks. But I mean, I just see the same problems. And honestly, I gotta be honest with you guys, and I'm sure you guys won't agree with me. I liked PJ Walker's arm. Man, his ball had some zip on it. It got to the 2 that he threw. The one that was off, and the one that was a little overthrown, but still had zip on it, and he got it out there, man. He has a cannon. I wouldn't mind trying him out if Teddy keeps throwing interceptions. I will say Teddy looked decent tonight. Like I said, his offensive line didn't help him out at all. He had a couple of deep balls that looked good. He's constantly missing DJ Moore. I think he goes to his he makes his decision when they're snapping the ball, and he doesn't even look to the other guys. It's Robbie Anderson, or maybe if they had called a play for Curtis Samuel, he'll look to him first. But I don't see him making his. Sometimes he makes his second read, but I never see him making his third and fourth reads ever. And I don't know. I don't know if he's got the. I don't know what to call it, but the instincts, you know what I mean? His pocket presence was really great tonight, but I don't know, he misses wide open guys all the time. It's almost like watching Kyle Allen last year. But anyway, like I said, I would like to say it was a good, game or whatever, but man, our secondary is trash. With the exception of the interception that was basically handed to him. Dante Jackson is just garbage. I mean, he's just garbage. I hate to say that because I wanted him to be good, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'll be listening tonight, guys. Keep pounding.
Ooh, can I ask a quick question?
Let
me ask a quick question.
Go ahead.
A few weeks ago when we were on this 3-game win streak, and even we went into that first loss after that 3-game win streak, some of us on here and a lot of the callers are calling in and praising the offensive line about how great this offensive line is. And they're saying, well, Matt Rule's an offensive line coach, and that's the reason why. So now we're all claiming the offensive line plays like garbage. Are we still on that same hill? Is it Matt Rule's fault, or are we going to try to figure out are we going to give him the praise when they do well and figure some of the reason that they're not doing well? That's what I want to know. Is it Matt Rule's fault?
I mean, this is the worst game they've had, right? Like, this is the worst game they've had. This is the bad game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only game that I feel like I can look back at and say that this is the offensive line's fault.
So we can't say our offensive line is garbage because a number of people said
they were garbage tonight.
Okay, tonight I'll give you that.
Tonight.
Okay,
they were garbage tonight. And honestly, if you look at it, it was Paradis and Reed. It was all the pressure was coming right through the middle, right past those guys. So I can't even, like I said, I mean, they ended up. I didn't see Greg Little. I wasn't able to tell if he was playing that bad, but I think they benched him for somebody else. So he must have been doing less than ideal tonight as well.
Well, they know Teddy Bridgewater wanted to get the ball out of his hand quick. That's why his completion percentage number that everyone goes goo gaga over in the yards that everybody loves to talk about.
Don't mean anything.
That everybody jerks off over. They literally don't mean shit.
Yeah.
And they know how to adjust to that. So, I mean, dude, they throw these checkdowns and they know, hey, send some ghost blitzes because he's going to try and get it out fast, so you might as well interrupt him anyway. Clamp down on the flat, be aggressive. I mean, listen, the blueprint has been laid on how to beat the Carolina Panthers. Like, this shit isn't hard for anyone. Okay, you can run the football on us, and when our offense is on the field, dude, just make sure you stat the box, account for Mike Davis, and just blitz the hell out of us.
Take away the run game, we're screwed.
Out of us. Yeah, I mean, we have no legitimate passing attack, and other than some yards after the catch, a dink and dunk, and it's embarrassing and it's limiting us, and it's a problem.
Can I make a point about leading in yards and how great they are? Check it out. The top 5 offensive leading yard quarterbacks this year. Let me tell you, if you want to be on any of these teams, Matt Ryan, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Teddy Bridgewater, maybe Josh Allen. So 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
4 out of 5.
Hey, hold on.
I don't want any of those teams.
Here's my question.
Garbage teams, and they're the top.
Here's my question. What's Joe Burrow's issue, Cody?
Joe Burrow's issue,
Yeah,
but
what's
A shitty team
on
all sides of the ball.
A lot of yards.
No,
though.
but hold on. We can't compare Joe Burrow.
No, I'm not.
To Teddy Bridgewater.
But what I'm trying to do is, if you want to make the point that the top 5 quarterbacks, number one, Matt Ryan, their issue is a lot of. If you look at the way that this team has played, the Falcons have played, their issues have been they've made stupid ass mistakes, and their defense is normally
You're making my point, CK. What I'm saying is throwing for a bunch of yards doesn't always matter.
But
That's
no,
what I'm saying. Because there are other things that go into the game. It's not just throwing for a bunch of yards.
No, absolutely. But if you had good defense, guess what? Do any of those teams have good defense?
I'll give you that, but that's what I'm saying is I want a quarterback that. But I'm specifically speaking about the quarterback, not anything else. I want a quarterback that throws for more than just yards. I want touchdowns. I want game management. Dude, we had the ball for half the time the Falcons did this year. He threw what, 20 passes this game? Like, it's insane, man. Come on. I want to see better management. We cannot say that him throwing for a bunch of yards, and because he throws it 20 times and completes 15 of them, or 23 times completes 18 of them, he's an amazing quarterback. That's what I'm saying. We can't say that. All these dink and dunk yards mean absolutely nothing. I think we're the worst team in the NFL in the red zone. I think we're the third worst team in the NFL in third down completion percentage. Those are the stats that matter that win games, not yards. Yards are vanity.
Yeah, third down conversion on defense also.
But you can
I'm talking about from the quarterback.
Reverse engineer it like a math equation. You can literally break it down step by step. We have so many yards because our yards after the catch receivers. Between the 80-yard line to 80-yard line, they make plays in space. But then you see our stats in the red zone, and we're terrible in the red zone. Well, why is that? Because all you have to do is stack the box, play zone, and you keep us out of the end zone. It all writes itself. All right. It's
Let's
on
look at
the
it from this
wall for
perspective.
everyone.
Let's look at it from this perspective, right? You just now said we got our yards because our wide receivers are great yard after the catch receivers. So is that not smart to get them the ball quickly so they can do the work that they're supposed to do? Secondly, when you talk about red zone,
but you can't give Teddy Bridgewater credit for throwing for 300 yards when 250 of them were after the catch.
But that's what I'm saying. You guys want to talk about the red zone? Who do we have as a red zone threat?
Really, no one.
Exactly. There is no, like, all you literally have to do is play zone against these really small receivers, and you're not going to be, like, we're not able to do anything. We have to run it. Like, if you look at our red zone, we run it 90% of the time because
all right. I understand that point, but CK, you know how you combat that? You take shots when you're around 40 yards away. You don't have to be in the end zone. So, for example, when we're at the 50-yard line, there are offenses that know that they can put points on the board from the 50-yard line. Like Bruce Arians' whole offense is even on 2nd and 2 or 3rd and 2. They'll chuck the football down the field. They don't ever have to respect that from us. So they know how they know how to check us every single time.
That's why that pass from Walker in the end zone that was slightly overthrown, that's why he was open, was because they don't respect us like that. Right. Walker overthrew that pass just barely. That would have been a touchdown because that was a nice pass. It was just a little overthrown. They didn't respect us. He blew right by him.
Here's my question then. How do you guys think Joe Brady did tonight?
I don't think he did great at all. I don't think he's done great since he's been here. I've not been amazed by this savant that was coming from college that's supposed to revolutionize the game.
Brady is doing the best.
I had zero problem with it. Like, what do you like? What is actually the problem?
You guys are complaining about the checkdowns, and they're game planned that way.
Why do you think that?
I don't actually think. First of all, I would say this is that I don't believe that. First, I would just say this is that all I've seen is I've not seen Teddy. Teddy likes the 3-yard pass. He loves it. He throws it great. So like we catch it. No, I don't know about that. I don't know. And I'm not even saying this. It's like I'm not even upset with him for completing a pass. I just don't believe from what I've seen. I don't know. It's not like I don't believe. Do you truly believe that Joe Brady's holding Teddy Bridgewater back? I don't believe that. The one belief, and I did not watch the game as closely as I usually do because I was in a very distracting environment. But I've been very happy with Joe Brady. And look, we called the fake punt. All of a sudden, the shit worked. like we're in it. We were in this game on all like I don't feel like we can overly blame anybody.
Absolutely.
But maybe we should overly blame everybody. But at the same time, we're just not. Cody said it. We're not very good.
Number one.
But when you say that, that is negative, right? So we're like, and when you say that, it sounds like your players aren't good. Like, we're not saying Teddy's not very good or this or that. It's just this. It's just not good enough. And at the end of the day, it wasn't good enough to beat the Falcons, who gave us every opportunity to win this game. We had every opportunity to win this game. And that's where I'm not upset with the defense, but so much is that if you told me that the Falcons were going to be in the red zone like 7 times, it felt like that, right? Like they were on. It was like they were in within the 7-yard line like 7 times. It felt like, I don't know. I didn't count them, but it felt like every other fucking play. But it could have been like, I thought like they could have scored 35 right there.
This game would have been a blowout had they had Calvin Ridley.
Possibly, yeah. Very possible.
Or they weren't the Falcons. That could have been the other thing.
And I'm not being facetious when I'm saying this. I would genuinely like to see PJ Walker get some time with the ones in practice and see what he could do. Because I'm telling you, this team is a little bit better.
He's so skinny,
than everyone
bro. This
thinks
motherfucker he eats like Devin Funches.
Whatever, dude. So is Kyler Murray, and he's better than the fucking shit show that we have under center right now, dude.
Do you know
has a live arm, and I want to see him get reps with the one. When he was in the XFL, he was balling out, throwing dimes all over the field. The guy has arm talent, and it leads me to say this: this is a more talented football team than we're giving them credit for. And I think that goes back to the defense thing. Like, look at how many players we're missing. We have no K1 Short. We have no Detur Gross-Matos. Dante Jackson has always had a toe injury this season. Like, Rasul Douglas isn't there. We cut Eli Apple. Dude, there are so many different layers to this defense where we're missing all kinds of players, and our offense can't play complementary football at all. Like, at all.
Here's what I'll say. Did nobody else get like half mast when they saw that zip come off of PJ Walker's ball though? Like that like
yeah, I agree.
When you saw that, it was the first time I'm like, oh my God, please, like, don't bring Teddy Bridgewater back in, just because I like to see that zip. I mean, it's so reminiscent of like just 3 years ago.
I actually thought they didn't bring Teddy in as fast as I expected. Like, I mean, I thought that they could have, like, it was like 4 plays, it felt like. It was like Teddy sitting over there getting a massage from an Asian hand job lady. And PJ Walker's in there doing, or Williams, whatever his name is, PJ
Walker,
peanut butter and jelly. And this mug is going in there. And I didn't feel like they were like, oh, wait, just run it. And Joe Brady did. Here, for you Joe Brady haters on the podcast, his mug threw it every time with him in there. You think they're going to run the ball?
They ran.
He's throwing the ball all over the place. Bro.
Mike Davis had some really good runs while PJ Walker was in there.
He did, but they were not scared to throw the ball.
They threw it 4 times, and he completed 1, and 3 of them were pretty off target.
Yeah, they were terrible, but they threw it. Like, if I was an offensive coordinator, I'd be like, don't fumble the snap. Give it to Mike. Let's try to. Teddy's about to get back. He's almost done. This Asian lady is working her little tiny arms off on that giant thing.
And look, by the way, people in the chat room calling me delusional, but yet no one can tell me how. No one can tell me how I'm delusional.
Right.
Listen, no one is saying that the offensive line played good tonight. Our offensive interior is dog shit. But what about all the other football games? What about all the other games this season that they played this year that we've all been like, hey, man, our offensive line has kind of been surprising, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like they've given Teddy time to throw the football, and nothing ever manifests downfield when we have a batch of wide receivers that all run a 4-3. Like, come on, dude. Don't tell me I'm fucking delusional when no one can say anything to really dispute that right now. Like, it's just obvious, man. It's at the point where it's like if you're denying who Teddy Bridgewater is at this point in time, then you're delusional. Like, you're just being a blind fan at this point
All right,
in
can
time.
we go to the next call? The number is
Sure.
252-228-5098. I love it. You're
Yo, what's going on, C3? It's your boy Theo Osborne from Asheville. I'm
man.
I'm watching the Falcons game right now, Thursday night. We look all right. I mean, the Falcons are good, but they did get rid of Dan Quinn, so they can actually do something. I just kind of want to talk about overall how you're feeling so far. We're about halfway through the season, and to be honest, man, I'm really hopeful. I think that the future for this franchise is bright. Me and my buddy were talking before the season, and we came up with looking at our schedule. We were thinking we were going to win about 5 games. And, to be about right around there right now with this coaching staff, I think they're getting the most out of this personnel, and has me very excited for the future. I just think that, we've got the right guys in place at the helm, and, just love to hear your thoughts on what you think about our coaching staff. Hopefully somebody doesn't snap away Joe Brady. So, keep up the good work, guys. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Can I kind of just jump in on this? I don't think Joe Brady goes anywhere, no matter what happens. Like, unless they just throw the bag at him. I hope that he's wise enough to know all the things that he doesn't know. And I really do hope that he stays with us. I mean, obviously, selfishly, because I do think he is a good coordinator. But listen, for everything that I've said tonight, I really do agree with this call. I think the Carolina Panthers have a bright fucking future, man. How about this? I disagree with Bat Daddy on this. I've been very impressed with our coaches. I think our coaches are really trying to make gourmet meals out of dog shit sandwiches, and they're doing the best that they can with the personnel that they have available to them. This roster is not ready yet. It's not a roster that's ready to compete in this division even, let alone the NFC. So with that in mind, I see that what the coaches have done. I see how our defense, even though we're missing so many people, keeps us in games. And yeah, that gives me a lot of hope to say, you know what? The Panthers for the next few years are going to be able to do something special. But right now, we don't have enough players on our defense and in our defensive backfield and our linebacking core, and we don't have the quarterback, and that's the most important part. We do not have the quarterback.
Can I ask you a question? We're claiming the team has no offensive line, a garbage defense, no quarterback. We're not going to get a top pick. We're going to finish about 7-9, 6-10, maybe 5-11. Who knows? Right about where we've been for the last 3 or 4 years. What about that makes you think that our future is bright? We are in the exact same position we've been in for the last 3 years.
You know why, Greg? Because there is
free
no
agent money, cap money
there
first.
is no reason why we shouldn't be as bad as the Jets. Why for everything?
But the season's not over. Who's going to say the Jets don't win 3 or 4 games and we lose the rest of them out?
But listen to what you just said, though. Look at how many other teams are out there that have a worse record than us, and yet they have a better roster than us. The Atlanta Falcons have a worse record, and they have a better roster. I mean, look at
Cowboys.
There's a lot of really bad football teams that a lot of the insiders were saying we're going to be Super Bowl contenders this year, and our coaching staff has elevated a bunch of some young players that have a ton of potential, and a bunch of who's-em-a-fuckets that no one cares about that aren't going to be on this team after a year or two.
But Cody, if we finish in the middle of the draft like we have been, like I said, 11th to 17th, somewhere in there,
it's gonna be fine, man.
That's the same story as every year, though. That means there are other teams that were worse than us that had better talent.
Time to trade up.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine about that. It's not the draft is not the only way to get better as a team. It's not. And like, I mean, it's just simply not. And look, it's Patrick Mahomes was like a 12th overall pick.
And
like it just happens. Like, let's not over. It's not that much. It's not as mathematical as you guys.
If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have it. You don't have anything.
That's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you don't have to have a top 10 pick to get what you need in the world.
You're right.
Like, I don't have a 10-inch dick, and I still got what I need. I don't got a Teddy Bridgewater dick, but I still got the hottest wife. Well,
but it's funny that we mentioned
Patrick
Mahomes and Deshaun Watson. These are two teams that were picking in the 20s and then traded first and second round picks to move up for a quarterback. That's literally what I've been saying.
Yeah, but it's not a top 10 pick. Like, all I'm just saying is this. It's just because you don't have a top 10 pick does not mean you don't have the opportunity to be better next year and next year and the next year. Add in free agency. The Panthers are going to have some money. We're not loaded with a bunch of salaries other than K1 Short at this point. So we don't really know what the future is going to behold. And I think that's the point, is that the coaching staff has been proficient enough to give us some optimism that if you give them some players that are better next year, that they won't be worse. So
even with Bridgewater as our quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, I would say there's a ceiling on how high what could happen, but there's also a floor too. And maybe you don't want to hear that, and maybe you don't like that, but that's the case. Is that just like this? Wouldn't you say this season kind of shows you what a Teddy Bridgewater is? You know, is that like we've been in these games. Like, if we would be better on defense, we would have won them. Yeah. You know, if we would have been better, I mean, like, there's
y'all are so ready to accept this mediocrity that I'm
not accepting anything. I just know that's what we're looking at. Is that we're not the worst team in the league this year, and he's a part of the reason that is.
We're average. It's just as bad.
Yeah, I was about to say we're average. We're bottom half, but like we're almost to the top half, right?
No one gave a damn about this game tonight. There was two teams that no one gives a shit about. No one outside of the Carolina.
Why are you talking so much about it?
Shit about the Carolina Panthers.
Do you feel like Christian McCaffrey would have made a difference in this game?
No.
I don't think so. With as much check down heavy as we are, and the fact that he can elude the defense, he usually makes the first tackler miss. I think that would have been perfect for Teddy Bridgewater's game tonight.
Maybe, but I don't think it would have opened up our offense in a way that would be enough for us to win.
All right, let's go on.
Yo, what's going on, C3? It's your boy Theo Osborne from Asheville. I'm watching the Falcons game right now, Thursday night. We look all right. I mean, the Falcons are good, but they did get rid of Dan Quinn, so they can actually do something.
They're playing just for.
I just kind of want to talk about overall how you're feeling so far. We're about halfway through the season, and to be honest, man,
did we already play this?
Yeah, we just heard this.
I'm really hopeful. I think
this was the last one.
This franchise.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey boys, it's your boy Mike, aka Supreme Leaders.
Supreme.
So, that game was just as horrible as the storm coming down here in the Carolinas.
Always got good calls.
Boy, almost had a chance at the end, but good old Teddy throwing that fourth quarter pick. Let's see.
In the triple coverage. That's the biggest.
I've never seen that before.
He was doing well. I think what we're starting to see now is what we thought our weakness was at the beginning of the season, and that was our secondary. I think they had 6 penalties back there, which is
No, Rasul
unforgivable.
Douglas
You're not
hurts a
going to win
lot,
a game with that
which
many
is
penalties.
crazy.
Here's hoping to CMC coming back next week. We really need him.
I don't know. I don't know if I want him back for the
Maybe he
I
can
know.
play defensive back for us back there. Keep having boys, Panther Pride till I
I'm
die.
gonna keep pushing through with the calls.
Well.
Is this Josh?
Another opportunity to win the game. Or at least tie it.
This is Josh. This has got to be Josh from Mets.
And Teddy blows it.
It sounds like him.
Anybody else tired of this yet?
Oh,
7
yeah.
games of this man
Me.
having opportunities
I
to
am.
win games. And it just ain't happened. It ain't panned out. He has not once been the reason we won a game this year. It just ain't happened.
Maybe it's
what?
not Josh.
Come
from
on.
Mets.
Is this Supreme Leader?
Is that it?
This is
Oh.
terrible. This is downright terrible. This is like almost
I
unbearable
swear
to watch.
This is Josh from Mets. I think this is.
Just
who
go out
it is.
there and just shit our pants on Thursday night. Come on, man. Ooh, you're crapping on Teddy. Yeah, because
I think
Teddy
it's-
deserves to be crapped on. And I hope he
Yeah.
hears it. I'll say it to his face. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
The man plays bad football. His brand of football is bad. He plays dink and dunk, Drew Brees football, and when people get in his face and make him uncomfortable, he can't deal with it. He can't adjust. He can't make the big boy plays. He just can't.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants to make excuses for him. Everybody says, "Oh, this and that," and they want to bring up quarterback of the past. They're like, no, I'm not talking about that other guy. He's gone.
Yeah.
He's somewhere else. Whatever.
I made a concerted effort not to say his
Point
name.
is if you're going to jettison one guy who's in the face of the franchise for so long and has done so much for the team, maybe y'all should have gotten somebody competent instead of some Kyle Allen dumbass.
Yeah.
2 times
That's all I'm
tonight.
seeing.
My hill is getting full, y'all. I'm
All
telling
I'm
y'all,
seeing.
people are seeing what I'm
I mean,
saying.
the whole team looks pretty bad tonight. The whole team looked real bad. Like, awful. But then the one time the defense does step up, defense does make it work. The offense goes out there and craps themselves, and everybody's going to go, well, they're a great pass to DJ Moore. Whoa, where was that all game? Where was that all game, man? It don't matter if it only happens once and it doesn't do nothing for you. Teddy just ain't the answer. And God, I hope we don't win another game. I hope we don't win another game, and I hope the Jets find a way to win four or five fucking games.
I hope the Falcons do
Because
as well.
Jesus Christ, we need a quarterback.
And the Cowboys.
We need one bad.
And the Texans.
And anybody who says otherwise, they're so delusional. Well, we just do. We just need another quarterback. Josh from Mass, signing out. I gotta go to bed.
We were right. We were right.
Sweet Jesus.
I'm looking over the kind of the stats of the game a little bit, and I think the turning point of the game, and if everybody wants to go back and kind of watch it and then circle back on Tuesday,
Fourth quarter.
like
Fourth down.
third quarter. Yes, exactly. Third quarter, fourth down. We go for it. I think we were 3rd and 5. Short pass to Robbie Anderson.
He's a yard shy.
Yeah, and so a guy was like, you got to get to the sticks. You got to run. Like, he ran his route too short. Now, they didn't look at it. When I was watching, I didn't go, oh, my God, this guy. Like it felt like that's exactly what Bridgewater was hoping to throw, the 4-yard pass. So, but then next, 4th and 1, Mike Davis, no chance for a loss. I think that's kind of when the game turned a little bit.
That was that. Well, I think it was the beginning of the second, or that fourth down that we didn't get in the second quarter, before the half,
because Bridgewater ran around the end.
And the dude got underneath his shoulder and pulled him down. That's where I felt it turned, because we were up and then we gave the ball back to them. They were able to do the 2-minute drill, get down, kick a field goal. Again, bend don't break, but they came into the half with a 2-point lead, and then we came out of that quarter, and then we came in and we didn't do shit like that first drive.
Right.
And that's where I think that first 4th down conversion we didn't get. Again, play call. They should have let Mike Davis run that because he was going to he was getting the first down right there. There was nobody in front of him. And instead they called for Teddy Bridgewater to do a bootleg.
I want to give out a shout out to 89J Stubbs in the chat room. Says go for it on 4th twice, fake a punt and still only get 17 was his first comment. Second comment was line looks bad because opponents know run and pass blitz. So
yes.
Teddy Chokewater.
There is a reason why we are seeing specifically all of the things on offense that we're seeing. It is like that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I do have this is like, look, because I don't want to be overly like we already got the voices on the podcast that are like that about, I won't say overly, but vocal.
Passionate. There
you go.
Yeah.
But to me, the idea that Robbie Anderson hasn't caught a deep ball this season is strange.
And he's
isn't it a little strange?
Yeah. Yeah,
like that's what he is. Yeah. He is the best. Like his greatest threat is the deep downfields, and he hasn't done it one time.
It's not
one time.
If they insist on keeping Teddy Bridgewater, they need to implement a PJ Walker type of Taysom Hill type of offense.
Oh my God!
Can I just say something in a moment of honesty? I am loving and having so much fun with this NFL season, and it has fucking nothing to do with my favorite football team. Like, honestly, it's nothing to do with my favorite football team. No, like now I like watching players and the stories and the matchups all around the NFL. Whereas now I agree with what Josh says at the end of that call. Like, dude, I was not excited. Let's have a moment of honesty, and everyone in the chat can play along. Everyone on the podcast can play along. Let's all have a moment of honesty. Other than it just being Panthers football, like how many people were really excited about this game today?
I had a feeling we were going to lose when it came into it.
I was excited.
Were you excited? Like, were you pumped up? Yes, we're going to play the Falcons today at home on Thursday Night Football. Were you pumped up today?
No, I wasn't. They're 1-5. How can you be excited?
I was pumped at the idea of seeing Brian Burns and Jeremy Chin do something today, and they both did. They both made good plays today.
Which was he okay, by the way? Brian Burns. I saw him go down.
He came back in the game.
He came back in the game. Okay, well, I didn't know I saw him again.
Yeah, I mean, no excitement from me, man. None at all.
I'm never excited about Thursday Night Football, though, bro.
I think he means more or less.
You know what? I was excited. I'm excited that we're gonna stay up. Right now, it's almost 1:00 in the morning, which is late. Second, I don't have to do anything for this podcast on Sunday. So I was excited as fuck on that point. Next
Sunday can actually be a day off.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Jason from Colorado calling. I feel for you having to stay up so late to cover a post game after on the East Coast. It must be a long day for you, but that one was a heartbreaker. It's tough to watch. We played. It was a sloppy game, but it played in the mud, in the rain. We had a lot more penalties than we would have liked to have seen. That really wound up changing the flavor. And of course, that cheap shot on Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, the rest did the right thing ejecting the guy, but we had to do a drive without Teddy Bridgewater. I did like them taking a shot with PJ Walker, and to be honest, it was a good shot. He was right on the money with that one. And Curtis Samuel had himself a day. DJ Moore even, I mean, right at the end, he made sure that he got his voice heard. He had a couple really crucial catches on that last drive where we really needed the game. It was DJ Moore that we turned to, and he really came up big. But I don't know if you ever saw Stephen Weatherly's superhero goggles. He looked like he had his X-ray vision on out there. And
I
at one
saw that,
point,
and I knew we were about
he
to
come
get
flying
CK's
through the
wearing
line and
them
blew
right
up
now.
a run play a couple yards behind the line of
CK,
scrimmage. He
look,
stands
check
up
this
with his
out.
X-ray goggles, and that just tickled me. But
you
know, I kind of expected the Falcons to put up a big fight. It does seem like, again, this is a high-powered offense, and they didn't score any big play touchdowns on us. Now, that's not to say they didn't have big plays, but we didn't lift them in the end zone hardly at all. I mean, frickin' Troy Pride slipping up. It's hard to say, well, he sucks, obviously. He's had some blown moments, and in the rain, I can forgive a slip. It's just, that was a killer, especially on the goal line and a chance to put a stick on it on Matt Ryan. I mean, come on, you can't pass that up. And, the Falcons for me are my least favorite division rival. A lot of people it's the Saints, not too many people it's the Bucks, but for me, them Dirty Birds will take that cake every time, but it always seems to give us trouble. In the 15-1 season, obviously, I don't have to remind anybody about that, but anyway, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep pounding, and we'll see.
I do want to point this out is old ass, and I think he's old at this point. When I say old, it's more me wishing him to be old. Julio Jones, 7 catches for 137 yards against this team. As usual, I had to put my blue light. What are these glasses that we're wearing right now, CK?
Yeah, the blue light filters.
Yeah, I had to put them on when I read that stat right there.
Here's one that
hurt my eyeballs.
You ready to be hurt even more? You remember how many yards Calvin Ridley had last time we played them 3 weeks ago?
I hope not more than that.
136.
I was gonna say probably the same thing. Yeah. Hey, Julio is no joke. He's about to break Jerry Rice's record for most yards in his first 10 years.
Julio is great. You know what he doesn't ever get though? Touchdowns. Never.
And guess what? Now, so with the receiver, it's important, but yards are okay.
No, I mean, he's like the greatest receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fantastic.
He is a freak, bro.
Oh yeah.
The fact that he doesn't get touchdowns is weird.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He's wonderful, dude. Actually, whoa. Way too complimentary on my end for a Falcon. I fucking hate Julio Jones. He always fucking fucks us in the ass. Next call.
Yo, this is DJ and Raleigh. Yo, what was tonight? I mean,
loaded question.
We lost to a 1-6 team.
Come on, Cody.
That fired their head coach.
Question.
Just looking at the night. Oh, I want these Teddy Bridgewater defenders to come out tonight.
Preach.
I understand he got hurt late with a cheap shot, but
I won't defend that.
That second half was terrible. And the pick to end the game, throwing in the triple coverage, inexcusable. He's not the answer. Defense. I don't know what the hell Phil Snow is doing with this weak ass zone. It's not working. And also with the offense, Joe Brady is supposed to be brought in to be this offensive guru. And I'm looking at his play calling, and it's absolutely horrendous. Those fourth down calls were terrible. A read option on fourth down? Are you kidding me? I don't know what we're doing here. And these games get harder to watch. Why did DJ show up in the fourth quarter? Why didn't you throw to him the first 3 quarters? Doesn't make any sense. At this point, I don't even want CMC to come back. Sit out the rest of the season. Why
this
come back?
Listens to this podcast. I promise you that. Like he's like one of us.
He's not wrong either.
He's one of us.
I need a drink.
He's definitely one of us.
Keep pounding, y'all.
Keep pounding, man.
All right, thank you for that call. I needed that. Next call.
What's up, C3 Podcast? What's going on? This is your boy, Little Boy Music from Twitter. Listen, let's talk about this because I wasn't
Wait,
going to bring it up because I was feeling sympathetic
Hold on.
for that
Yeah,
Twitter. Listen, that's what's going on. What's going on?
Okay.
This is your boy Rude Boy Music from Twitter. Listen,
I can't hear that. Can you hear that?
Little one something.
What's up, C3 Podcast? What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy Rude Boy Music from Twitter. Listen.
Oh, the one lizard.
I wasn't going to bring it up because I was feeling sympathetic for that unnecessary, trash-ass, classic Falcons, Dirty Bird, dirty play. I wasn't going to even talk about it because, I feel sorry for the guy. But listen, Teddy Bridgewater is just not it. I'm sorry. And to address this, yes, the O-line play is horrible. Chris Reed at left guard, man. I mean,
This guy
Chris
should
Reed
be the
will get
host
you
of the
murdered.
podcast.
Matt Perry is
For real.
he's the biggest thief I ever seen because he stole from us for free agency. My gosh. Are they horrible? Yes. But there have been times, multiple times, in these games where I have seen Teddy Bridgewater. I have seen us play action, and this man has 3 or 4 or 5 seconds in the pocket. And he turns to throw a check down, or he turns to throw a sprint for 4 yards. I am sick and tired of not seeing us be able to take shots downfield with the speed that we have at wide receiver. Because this man's ineptitude to deliver the ball downfield. Then that interception. All of his late game interceptions have been mind-boggling decisions. Yeah, I'm just floored. I'm floored. Help me understand, guys.
Nothing to understand other than you should be the host of this podcast with that call right there. I mean, like from top to bottom, I agree. Brad Dugan also says, I thought we traded DJ during the game when it took us till the fourth quarter to target him. Kevin Boschwin says, Troy Aikman said, I wish I could tell that the Falcons are doing something special to DJ Moore, but they're not.
Yeah, they're they were, dude. Like the one part that I was hoping somebody was gonna bring up because I was gonna say, again, use it against you, but the pass down the seam to Curtis Samuel that was just out of reach. He was maybe a yard or two past the guy. It was basically like that PJ Walker pass, essentially, just with not as much zip. They did the replay and they showed DJ Moore was underneath in a nice little check down. He had plenty of room in front of him.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, if he got him there, it would have been a first down. And I would have been like, yeah, but you guys don't want him to throw checkdowns.
Oh, I know. But it turns out he can't throw
a guy like that. I mean,
they couldn't do either.
Turns out
they
was
open. Easy.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, that was a wide open receiver. A lot of the yards after catch have been wide open receivers that had yards after catch. DJ Moore's 76-yard touchdown pass last week was like wide open yards after catch. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like,
I also feel like that Curtis
Samuel.
I think that Curtis Samuel pass where he missed. And you guys think I'm gonna be like pandering to what we've been talking about. I think it was underthrown.
No,
and what I mean by that, it was like thrown inside too much. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Is that like if you threw it more vertically, like he had to.
You think it was underthrown in the aspect that if it had gone farther, it would have been in stride?
Right, is that, and it was
like,
and when I say it's like it was kind of weird, is like, and I think it was that play. It was either the Curtis Samuel, there was one or the other, and it was is that you're gonna, and when the coach is gonna come out there, and in fairness, like it's not like I can go out there and do better. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was about 2 feet to the left, like he let him in more. When he was running more of just a straight vert route, it looked like. And so it's just like this. I mean, yeah, we can say they didn't connect this or that. But at the same time, I was not like, oh, we missed that pass because of Teddy Bridgewater's arm strength.
I want to say.
Actually, that's exactly what I said, just in the negative aspect.
I want to say one thing real quick to to any of our callers, but specifically the last one. I don't know what people who are criticizing our coaches really
I don't think our
expect
coach
from us.
Yeah.
Like, really, okay, I mean, this goes out to Greg or to anyone, really. If you're not happy with this coaching staff right now, or you think that the reason that we're losing is because of this coaching staff,
Watch the Cowboys.
I need someone to tell me why. Because,
I agree.
What do you expect? So, for example, like that play where it was like another third down that we didn't convert, and we used Jeremy Chin to pick up the fourth down. Like, dude, that takes guts, and it also says, well, our offense isn't picking up third downs any other way, so fuck it. We might as well go for it. Like,
so you're giving them credit.
I
for
almost thought we should have
gone
for it on another fourth down.
No,
you're
Greg,
giving them credit for having
what?
guts to do it, even though we missed it.
I'm saying
We got it.
We converted.
He's talking about missed the third down.
What I'm talking about is you have to give our credit where credit is due to the coaching staff to call the plays that are necessary when they know our offense isn't getting it done otherwise. Like, okay. I don't know what any fan of the Panthers.
Let's look to other teams that have experience who all of these different things, whose coaching staffs have been in place, and they're fucking worse. The Atlanta Falcons is a great example of that.
Houston Texans.
Can I explain to you why I blame coaching? And I don't completely blame coaching. It's not completely coaching, but why I get coaching part of it is because
you're just a skeptic,
you guys told me that this was supposed to change the coaching scheme, how great they were going to be, the offensive.
We are. We're fucking like in there with Teddy Bridgewater and nobody's.
We are in the exact same position, points wise, yards wise, wins wise. No, we have a better wide receiver core than we did last year. We have a better offensive line than we did last year. Okay, hold on. We're in line to finish the exact same we were last year, and last year everybody said it was coaching.
But
why is it not coaching this year? No. We're going to get the exact same results.
Yeah, but
stop being a villain, Greg.
I'm not being the villain. I'm being realistic.
But listen. That Ron Rivera had been here almost 10 years, whereas Matt Rule is doing the same thing. Damn near.
This mug doesn't even know how to get home. He doesn't even know how to get home from the stadium to his house.
Also,
he gets lost on the way home. He's like going to show up at Cody's house by accident.
Hold on. We had last year, we had one of the worst defenses, right? We had Luke Kuechly in the defense. We had Luke Kuechly. We had James Bradbury. We had Eric Reed. We had Trey Boston. We had Shaq Thompson. We had K'Wan Short.
Now Trey Boston and Shaq Thompson are good because we always talk about how bad they are.
No, what I'm talking about is that
I like Trey Boston.
We have less on defense and on paper than we did last year. And if you want to talk about yards and points, 75% of our entire offense last year was Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield.
Yeah, and we don't have him.
And we don't have him.
And one other thing is that despite the things that have happened in this season so far, right, is despite the record, this and that, is I don't feel like I've watched these games and felt like, man, we've been really outcoached.
Well,
no,
I don't feel that way at all. Like, is that I think the idea, and this is someone who is being super consistent, Greg, since I put my money where my mouth was, is I never even thought that we were going to get the 6 wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? Like, that's the idea. Is I feel like we look remarkably competent at every moment.
That has to be added to the conversation.
I agree.
That no one, absolutely no one said that this year Matt Rule and Phil Snow and Joe Brady were gonna make this the fucking the football team to beat our football team.
We were worried we would look. The idea is this is the best case scenario for us. And I know that you don't want to hear that, Cody, because you want Trevor Lawrence's dick in your mouth. Like, I like Cam Newton's dick in my ass. I got it.
Quarterback that you don't seem to want, that we don't have.
No, what I'm saying is this, is that the worst case scenario is like the Jets. It's like the Vikings. It's like these teams you look at and you go, oh my God. Like, you're so shitty. The Texans. I don't look at my team. Imagine doing this. Maybe this podcast would be better. Do you know our numbers have dipped a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because we're just okay. Like, if we were shitty, people would be in this podcast all night. They'd be in our ass. If we were awesome, they'd be all over us.
Yeah,
it's just because it's just like, yeah.
There is no energy to this football team. There is no star power. There's no reason for anyone outside of Charlotte, like I said earlier, unless you're a diehard Panthers fan, to care about this football team.
Like every one of our listeners, by the way.
And by the way, mediocre, to me, that's worse. I would at least when you're a dumpster fire.
That's the most.
Yes, it is.
This is you're a liberal ass.
No,
this is your political shit creeping in, bro. This is your political shit creeping in. I promise you this, is that the people that cry the loudest are the people that have the ability to cry the loudest. And if you were on a 0 in whatever team right now, you would be crying about all the cum that is raining down on your face.
Quarterback. I've been the running for the best quarterback to come out of college in the past 10 years, man.
Yep. You have the freedom to be upset right now. If you were a Jets fan, you would not be doing this show. You would be asleep.
No.
You would be asleep. All right, next call. You would be asleep.
Yo, C3, the skill wheel, South Carolina, stand up.
What's up, man?
But yeah, man, I was wondering, are we ever going to be good on a primetime night? Like, geez, man, I'm talking about Teddy Bridgewater. If it's a man-to-man defense against us, all he is going to do is dink and dunk. I like Teddy Bridgewater, but geez, man, like, every time you see a man-to-man, I'm talking about that man do not do nothing but what? Run for 8 yards, run for 7 yards, run for 6 yards. Like, Teddy, come on, man. Man the fuck up, man.
I feel like, all right, so we all know that Teddy Bridgewater, fantastic call. Thanks for hanging out with us. We all know that Teddy Bridgewater has a giant dick, right?
Yeah.
We all know that. We've seen
now I'm starting to think that it stuffs. And now it's all just a sham, dude.
My question is this, is that after that call, what I think about is this with Teddy. It's like, imagine you did have that dick. Like you had the boom. And the girl was like, wow, this is going to be great. And then it was just okay.
Yeah.
Like, and she was like, wow, I expected that to be so much better. That's what this Panthers offense is. She's like, it was very big, but I just expected so much more in my fan. I feel like that's what this Panthers team is.
Maybe that's his issue. Maybe he's got a balance issue.
Yeah. Whichever side it's swaying to, he's leaning that way.
Like his back is like,
I can't throw it deep because I've got this pendulum swinging between my legs.
Maybe.
All right, I have a question.
Hey,
real quick before So, and this is for anybody. Right now, if we don't get the top 10 pick, and let's say there are no good quarterbacks in the, after the top 10, who do you trade for?
Quarterback?
Instead of quarterback, because you're saying right now we don't go beyond this year with Teddy Bridgewater, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Or at least not as in the starting capacity. Do you go after Donald?
It's very clear. Cam Newton.
After
Darnold.
I think, honestly, you go after Dak Prescott. based on what happens with the Cowboys this year and where they draft. That's what I think he's after.
That's
Dak's
like,
pretty good. Yeah,
that's like a marginal. To me, that's a marginal upgrade.
He
It's
can
an
throw the deep
marginal
ball, though.
upgrade
He
from
can throw the
10.
deep ball.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can. He throw like 40 up in that
He
mud.
dinks
Why
and
do
dunks
you
a lot,
think
but he
the
can throw the deep ball.
Cowboys never paid him?
They were
The
dumb not
Cowboys
to.
have been
They lost
telling
out
you-
big time not doing that.
The
And they're going to
Cow-
get lucky this year and get a good draft pick.
Yeah, and but
Dude,
okay,
do you want to talk about the functionalism of the Cowboys now? Is that where we're really taking this podcast right now?
I can't
Like,
open that.
why
Yeah.
did they not pay him? Oh, because they're the most functional fucking organization in the world.
Hey,
No, they just cut Dontari Poe for being overweight. Did you hear this?
They cut Dontari Poe. Let's sign him again.
Yeah. No, do you
Sign
know
back.
they cut him because Jerry Jones goes on the radio and says Dontari Poe, 30 pounds overweight, and especially when he's not even playing that good. And what I really kind of internalized is that he was so heavy coming out of the locker room, he had to take a knee during the national anthem, and he got cut. They suck. They suck right now. And, all of a sudden, Dontari Poe was too fat. Now, a friend of mine, Chandler, says he does look fucking chunky as a mug. But
by the way,
come
the
on.
Cowboys-
Let's not look to the Cowboys as an example of what we want to be as functionalism as a word.
The Cowboys
So
did
let's
the-
not say why did
We
the
are. We're
Cowboys
saying
not
the
sign
Niners
him?
every year.
Did the right thing. The Cowboys did the right thing by not paying Prescott if they end up drafting another quarterback
But
this
that's
year.
just out of luck. That's just out of luck they did the right thing because
Yeah,
they're just
so
gonna
they
happen
did
to
the right
finish,
thing in
you know.
getting this shitty ass coach. This
Yeah.
shitty ass
They
team.
didn't start
Oh,
the
they
season
got
out
they,
saying-
they
didn't
did
start
the
season out saying,
fucking
we're not gonna pay Dak
right
because we're
thing,
getting a
bro.
top pick.
They did the right thing, bro. They did the
No,
right
listen,
thing.
you're gonna tell me that them choosing to not pay Dak Prescott $40+ million a year, if they get a younger, cheaper first round quarterback, you're gonna tell me that they didn't do the right thing by not paying Dak Prescott?
If it works out like that. But what I'm saying is they didn't start the season out and say, well, we're not going to pay Dak because we're going to get Trevor Lawrence next year. That wasn't their call. It's luck that it works out that way. We can't give them credit for that.
Still did the right. It was
Then you
luck,
should
and
always
them
bet
decided
on
not
fucking
to
black.
play.
You should always bet on an injury.
Oh,
then.
dang it. You know what, man? I was at the roulette table and I should have done that. I should have remembered Tony said always bet on black. Dang it.
All right,
Guys,
all right, let's go
guys,
to calls. Can we?
I'm looking at the
can we-
schedule. I could see a scenario where we don't win a single game.
I've been telling y'all, dude, is that all of a sudden Greg is gonna be owing me the $10.
You know what? We get one of those
I'm
top-
gonna
we get one of
stay
those
up
top
all
picks.
night
I'll
with
gladly pay
your.
it.
I'm gonna watch this 24-hour stream, and they're gonna give me $15.
That
Not
works.
me versus. All right. Next call 252-228-5098. And it's crazy that you got this fiance battle going on in this thing. That's why.
And then the plays we're choosing to run, where it's like Petty
Hold on, did
running
we
the
play
like
this one?
boot is Kevin coming out of Raleigh. Only thing I kind of wanted to mention was I feel like we're kind of knee jerk reacting to things. If you kind of like paid attention to the team, we pretty much knew the offensive line was going to be bad. The secondary was going to be bad. Those are two things that our franchise has lacked to put money and resources in over, probably the last like 10 years. So it's still showing its head and showing its head very bigly over the last couple of games, especially with the way the team is structured. And then also the whole analytics going for it on fourth down thing, and then the plays we're choosing to run, where it's like Petty running the like bootleg out to the outside. Just not really good calls to go for on fourth down, but I feel like Tepper is pushing it and Rule is kind of pushing it because he told Tepper he was an analytics guy, which caused him to give him that big contract. So, I mean, we're just kind of in a mess right now, but at the same time, I feel like, we're on a trajectory to do better. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity to get a guy like Fields at quarterback, something like that. And, we invest money into the offensive line to protect whoever it is from.
I don't know.
That seems short.
And
did
that's
get
why-
cut off.
Oh.
and, I just want to jump on this train real quick and say, even if we finish outside the top 10, I don't care how much people cry about it. The Panthers should trade up to get the quarterback that they want if they can.
You get rid of CMC.
I hope we
Trevor
get.
Lawrence?
I hope we do it. I'm at this point right now. I hope we get Trevor Lawrence and he prematurely ejaculates on Cody's face.
You got the next Marcus Russell.
Like it's like, gosh, it is getting exhausting.
Y'all don't. It's not. It's not. Like, Tony is making this about Trevor. I'm making this about if you don't have a franchise quarterback, you don't have any chances, and you have to do everything to get a franchise quarterback. Because if you don't have one, you're dead on arrival. And we should do it.
Sam Darnold, the next call.
Jalen Hurts.
Yo, T3, what's going on?
Is not Jalen.
I listen to y'all every week. I've called in a few times. It's been a minute since I called in. I always mean to call in with something, but I gotta call in. Listen to y'all right now.
Man, I'm glad
Literally
you stayed
the thing
up
that made
for
me
us.
call in was the Dante Jackson thing I just heard. Yo, we gotta chill on the Dante Jackson slander. Like, real talk.
3 interceptions.
I know it's
I
frustrating
apologized
to
on him
watch
last
the
week.
game and see him make a play or just see him play whatever and then see him leave the game. So I get it.
He's
you might want
always
to
leaving
question
the
his
game.
toughness or whatever. But literally every week it's the same thing. It's the same injury. It's his toe. It's his toe. So it gets to a point where it's like, yo, maybe you gotta start like questioning his toughness and like legit think like, yo, maybe his fucking toe hurt. Like legit. I believe
I
it was
agree.
just this
I mean,
week
I
was
got
listening to Will praise him for his toughness anyway. He's probably just hurt. Like you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. And
I apologized to him after the last game.
I don't know. I can't
we
think
don't
play like
have
this because he's definitely our best corner.
I
So
agree.
you can't say he's trash. He's no question our best
We
corner.
miss Rasul Douglas.
Somewhere we got to
big
get right
time,
with that,
man.
but I don't know.
Like, Rasul
I just
Douglas
think we
needs
gotta
to
lay
get
off
the money.
Dante Jackson slander on some like real shit. I definitely see him as a piece moving forward. It looks like Wool sees him as a piece moving forward. I don't know. I'm just calling it like I see it.
I think
Also,
you're right. I think this is a
I'm
good
gonna
call.
save it for
Julio
next call,
Jones.
but
Bro.
I definitely got to take on the whole Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore thing. But I don't even want to go into it right now. But I'll leave that for Tuesday. Anyway, y'all stay safe. Y'all be blessed. Keep counting.
My man, good call. I like that because I've been unnecessarily hard on Dante at one point. I went back and watched the Saints tape, and it was not him that was problematic. He has been injured all season. But it's a big deal to say this coaching staff has put a lot of confidence in him for what we saw.
Julio Jones short diced him up and ate him alive tonight.
It's Julio Jones, though. He diced up every
6 versus,
cornerback
that's like
against him.
saying that, I mean,
Yeah.
of course.
We're not saying he's the best cornerback, although he is tied for second for interceptions in the league.
Rasul
right now.
Douglas would have
of
been a
times
better
that's-
matchup against Julio. James
I don't know
Bradbury
if
would
I
have
don't
been
know
a
if I
better
agree with
matchup against Julio.
I don't know if I agree with that caller. I kind of don't think that we've been hard enough on. I mean, but listen, it's we have a bunch of injured players. Listen, I am on record on this podcast talking up Dante Jackson as one of my favorite picks of that draft. I was a fan of him when he was at LSU, but
he's played better this year than anyone he played last year. He's
not a number one corner.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I don't got a problem with that. I'm not trying to say that. Is that he has stepped forward this year rather than backwards. And that's crazy when he has
Coaching,
4 toes.
I think 100% coaching on that too. Like I said, I've been praising the coaching staff on the fact that they've been building him up as opposed to tearing him down after he's made mistakes.
And it almost goes to show you a little something is that you know how Bill and the person we're not supposed to name, right? Voldemort of this. Is that what it is in Harry Potter? Voldemort?
Harry Potter, yeah.
Yeah, is our Voldemort is that somebody was talking about how nice Bill Belichick was about him.
I know, it's really weird.
And somebody was telling me is that maybe that's a sign that Bill Belichick is like a genius coach, and he just knows that certain personalities need puffery, other personalities need the tough dad love. You know, maybe Dante Jackson was not getting the fatherly, whatever was the right approach.
I feel like Bill Belichick is it's kind of like just changing his personality. I think he's like kind of I think he's on the back end of his career.
So are these Subway commercials making you feel that way?
Yeah, dude,
I think it's the Subway commercials, and I like them. I'm like, oh my god, I actually like this. I do feel like
he's building himself up for a career after coaching is what he's doing. Like, he's got to become more likable. And if you consistently are just like this no-emotion quarterback, or
yes,
coach.
He is making himself. He is starting to cultivate the kind of unlikable person.
Yeah,
like he is becoming like the likable curmudgeon-y grandpa.
Okay, I got to start keeping a list here because this is it just blows my mind every time we talk about this. I got to start keeping a list of all the stuff y'all say is good coaching. Because it seems like everything good that happens, we say is good coaching, and nothing bad that happens is bad coaching. And I know for a fact that 30 minutes ago, y'all were talking about how bad Dante Jackson is, how he's garbage, he's a terrible player, this and that. And now we just said he's improved because of coaching. Like, so I just don't
apologize.
Why the good things are coaching and the bad things aren't.
You were busy placing red bets on Cherokee tits.
I'm talking about 30 minutes ago. We were all y'all were all saying.
Not me. I never have said.
I wasn't.
Go back. I promise you this is that I've been hard on Dante, and then I went back and watched that Saints tape, and he didn't do nothing fucking wrong.
Yeah.
How many calls?
One more.
Okay, well, let's hit that bitch.
Can we go? Yeah. Well, you guys are I was quiet for like the first 40 minutes, homie.
He sat back and watching us laughing. That was pretty good.
What's up, guys? 89 here.
I always be talking.
Just comment on the game, man. We're so predictable. You know.
We're so predictable.
They know we can't throw deep.
Podcast.
I mean, even Troy Aikman said it. They just stack in the box. Teddy's not throwing it.
He can't.
You know, defense, it is what it is. We knew they weren't talented coming in. They're better than I thought.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, with all these weapons, you know, Teddy has to do something. I mean, we went for it on fourth twice, fake punt, got all these kind of penalty calls, and we still only scored 17.
Here's the co-host.
It's pretty simple, man. But y'all have a good night. Later.
Dude, y'all two need to team up. You'd have a better podcast than I can run.
Oh, God.
Great call right there. Yeah. I mean, is there anything else to say other than that? I'll refresh. Let me refresh to make sure we don't miss any calls. What's your chin check defensive player of the week, guys? Ooh, that's right. Chin check. We wreck you. I feel like I'm always like singing a Wu-Tang song when I think of that. Chin check. Jeremy Chin, Cody Lashney's favorite player. And give credit to Cody Lashney, is not only is he one of these personalities on this podcast that makes this entertaining, is that he's called a lot of these people out. And in a good way, Jeremy Chin was one of those. Defensive Rookie of the Month for October. Only other people that were other Panthers that have done that were Luke Kuechly, Julius Peppers. It's a couple other.
No, it was the problem that I had with our Panthers media this week. They said that the only other people that have ever done that on the Panthers were Julius Peppers and Luke Kuechly. And then Brian Burns did last year, but they didn't even include him until later.
So they had to go back. Brian Burns. But Jeremy Chin's been sensational this season on the Rookie of the Year campaign for defense. But who's your chin check player of the week, guys? Who's the defensive guy that got it done? And I hope somebody says Dante Jackson to fuck with that caller.
That's actually what I was going to say. Actually, that caller was defending Dante Jackson, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the
And I'll say Dante
Yep.
Jackson because
You're right.
I like Dante Jackson. I want to buy his jersey. I think he's a solid cornerback. Yeah, he may not be the best top. He may not even be in the top 10 as far as number ones. He's our number one. He's the best we got. He gets interceptions every year, and I'll take that. So for his interception today, I'll get my chin.
My chin check player is that Franklin kid who broke up that one pass against, I guess it was Julio. I think it was Julio in the end zone. And Julio's like, I can't get a touchdown to save anything. Some dude named Franklin, who nobody knows who he is, stopped me from getting a touchdown. I have 137 yards, but no fucking touchdowns because of chin check Franklin. That's my chin check pick of the week.
I have one, and then I have an honorable mention just because of one reason. But if you look at this game and see how many times Brian Burns was this close from a sack, this close, and then when he did, it was negated by a defensive holding. By who got that defensive holding? It was somebody stupid. Anyway.
It was like a fucking receiver or whatever. It was like something way off the ball, I felt like.
Yeah. Well, outside of that, that interception was complemented with a very heavy pass rush by Brian Burns. It's very possible that interception wouldn't have taken place had Brian Burns not been there. So I'd say Brian Burns, he's playing, and he has an incredible tackle. He is tackling guys very well. And so is Chen, by the way. But my honorable
Don't you know his brother? Before you get to your honorable mention, haven't you been in contact with his super brother, who's
he
his
hasn't
best
responded
buddy?
to me yet. I'll send him another message.
But another thing on top of that is I listened to a couple of Brian Burns clips, and the way he talks about football makes me excited. He makes me want to go play flag football. He likes to play football, which is, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't like to be, he's excited by the game of football. And I think that could be a motivational tool that's beyond money.
Yeah. And in a play that led to our first punt of the night was the one play by Stephen Weatherly where he destroyed Todd Gurley in the back, or maybe it was Hill. But he just broke through and he just leveled, bro.
Should we ice up the fucking Falcons for running Hill so much tonight? When Gurley was just
Gurley. They haven't been running him all year.
They should. He only just gets yards.
Gurley is an old man. He has all.
I don't give a fuck if he gets 6 yards a carry. Who gives a fuck if he's 92?
Arthritis in his knees, he's fucking riding the danger.
Gore's still running.
That's why they don't run him for the past 3 years in a row, and everyone's like, "Oh, what's wrong with Todd Gurley? Yeah, he has old man knees. That's what's wrong with Todd."
I'm telling you, I saw a meme and it was the most hilarious thing. It was the Todd Gurley's ligaments or remaining ligaments, and it was a Cheeto and a hinge.
Yeah, and a paperclip, bro. Homeboy don't I'm not. They don't run him like that because they know that his body don't do it like that no more.
Right. I don't believe that. I don't believe that the Falcons do anything that is logical. So go and continue with your illogical nonsense.
Dude, my chin check goes to none other than the man himself, Jeremy Chin. Yeah. Jeremy Chin's incredible. I think no matter what you feel about this season, he has been a light in the darkness. I think he is an incredible football player. He is a centerpiece that we're going to be able to build around for years to come. I think he's awesome. I love him. Tony Dunn, I'm done fucking talking about this bullshit football.
We're done. We're done. Give us 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds is, do you have an offensive guy? I mean, obviously it's Teddy Bridgewater and Curtis Samuel, right?
They can all jump off a bridge for all I care, dude.
Hey, we had the most tight end receptions.
He's got to go. He's got to go.
Three?
Yeah, 3.
All right. Look, as we're here on Tuesday nights, you can follow Cody Lashney. Tell him where you can follow him on Twitter. Or are you running?
Find me on Twitter at Cody Lax, CODYLAC. Amanda just be talking about how Teddy Bridgewater sucks a whole bunch and we should get a different
Oh,
quarterback. So
stop.
you should come and check me out if that's the kind of content that you're looking for.
I think you should also be proud that this show is getting shorter each and every week, and this post game only went to 1:30 after this game closed an hour and 45 minutes ago. So we've done very good. Thank you for your help, Cody. Tell your mother I said hello when you see her next. And don't forget, Teddy Bridgewater's dick is going to be giant when it's laying all over you.
Yeah, but it's soft. It's a big water noodle. It's a water noodle. It's not even
It's like a noodle. It's a flotation device at this point. All right, CK, the man of many streams. How can they find your shit?
You can find me on Facebook Gaming at Codizzle Allen. And most other social platforms with that same username.
Greg, man of many podcasts.
Well, man, too many to talk about right now. Just check out the Bat Daddy 52 on Twitter, and you can find all my stuff. Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, right there.
Number is 252-228-5098. My name's Tony Dunn. You can follow me at cat_chronicles. And good news, folks. Sunday, we get to kind of take the day off and
just
be
root against
parents.
Everybody we hate.
Yeah, we could actually take care of our children. Or maybe just casually watch football. And it sucks that the Panthers lost, but you know what? Not the worst loss in the history of the world, but does suck we lose to the Falcons. Fuck the Falcons. I hope you burn in hell, but I saw enough to be not miserable. We'll catch you Tuesday night. Don't forget, C3 Panthers podcast on YouTube, live